Sing one, and we'll have Vasudha sing one. Boom, boom. Anything on the calendar today?
I don't think so.
Yes, Marge, you rest.
I'll double check.
It's my choice?
Your turn. You choose.
Nothing today.
Okay. Okay. Nadia Gudrume. Yes, sure.
Nadia Gudrume Nityananda Mahajana.
Nadia Gudrume Nityananda Mahajana.
$160. Narad Muni Pachai Pina Radhikaramananame
Narada Muni Vajaya Vina Radhikaramananame
Narad Muni Pachai Pina Radhikaramananame Namamani Udita Hoya Bhakta Gita Shame Amhiyatara Bhara Shekana Shravana Jubalikhiya Bhakata Chana Shankani Nache Bhavana Ukariya
Bhakata Chana Shankani Nache Bodhiya Panahiya Madhuri Pura Ashabupashi Mataya Jagata Jane Kehova Kade Kehova Nache Kehomate Manhevane Kehova Kade Kehova Nache Kehomate Manhevane Naramuni Vajayina Radhikaramananame Panchavadana Naraditari Premarasha Ganaro Kamalashana Rachia Bole Bolo Bolo Hari Bolo Shahashana Paramashuke Hari Hari Bole Gai Nama Prabhate Matilo Pishwa Namarasasa Bepai Shirupapate Jachaya Iha Bhakti Vinodadasha Narad Muni Bhajai Vinaya Paramananame Morning. Can you sing Manasa Deho? Which is Sankarshan Prabhu's favorite song, right? Still?
Okay, Sankarshan Prabhu, sing something, please. Oh, we sang that. And then after you, Maharaj, please sing Mahamantra after. Okay.
Amin
Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda Sundar Giridhari Ju Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Param Guru Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Rupa Anuga Guru Varga Ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Sevan Hrishikesh Maharaj Ki Jai, all the assembled devotees Ki Jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande, Jai Gurudev. So I just wanted to read a few transportative, beautiful verses by Lord Brahma. Chaturmukha Brahma. There's so many Brahmas, but our Brahma, who is the first Vaishnava and the first preceptor in our Gaudiya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. He's our first guru. And Brahmaji, Lord Brahma, he's the secondary creator. First, everything comes from Vishnu. Then Brahma has his service of creation. And before he created, he was born on the lotus flower of the Lord. And in Lord Narayan laying in the ocean, the Garbhodakshai ocean, he was laying there. The lotus came out of Vishnu's navel and Brahma appeared. He was born on this lotus flower. And first, he couldn't quite understand where he came from. He's sitting on this lotus and he didn't know how this happened. How am I alive? And why am I sitting on a lotus and there's nobody around? He can't see anything. And begins to meditate for, like it's described in the scriptures, like 100 celestial years, which roughly estimates like 300 trillion earthly years. He begins to meditate, and that's very Vedic style. When you don't know something and you want to understand something, you meditate. You go into meditation, but that was inspired by the Lord. Brahma's, what should I do? Where am I coming from? What's going on? And he hears tapa. Tapa. This 2 syllables that come from nowhere. They come from the Lord, but he just hears tapa. And he understands what that means. That means do some austerity. Go into meditation. And so 100 celestial years pass by, and with his 4 heads, he's meditating, he's doing austerities. The only being in sight, he just sees he's on this lotus. And the Lord reveals to him himself. Krishna, who is also known as Govinda. Lord Brahma calls him Govinda in his prayers. He reveals who he is. Krishna reveals himself to Brahma, and he reveals his divine abode of Goloka, where Krishna lives. And Brahma is so ecstatic. It's the same Brahma as everyone's worshipping here in Thailand, because you find a mix. Thai culture and Vedic culture, it's all mixed. Hinduism and Buddhism is all mixed. They call him Phrom. What is it? Phrom. There's a famous Phrom. Yeah, it's the same Brahma, same 4-headed Brahma you see in famous temple shrine in Bangkok. It's the same Brahma, but we see him as not the Supreme Lord. We see him as a devotee, as a Vaishnava, and our first guru. And so when the Lord reveals himself to Brahma, Chaturmukha, four-headed Brahma, in our universe, he's the first person and our first guru. When he's seeing real time what's going on in Goloka Vrindavan, the Lord's abode, on the topmost portion of the transcendental world, he begins to praise what he sees. And it's said that there were 100 chapters describing what Brahma sees. He's ecstatic and chanting, and he's describing what he's seeing. But only the 5th chapter remained. And in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes on his tour of India, in Kerala, I think it's the Adikeshava temple, he discovered the 5th chapter of Lord Brahma's prayers, the Brahma Samhita. And Mahaprabhu said, maybe missing the other 99 chapters, but everything's in here. And Mahaprabhu took a copy of that Brahma Samhita, and that is what we have here. This is the fifth chapter of the Brahma Samhita, and everything is here, Mahaprabhu said. And this particular version has elaborate commentary by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and translation by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and there's a beautiful illumination by Saraswati Thakur. And Gurudev wanted this published in our Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, so Bhaktiananda Sagar Maharaj, he did this beautiful presentation. And I just wanted to read a few verses because they're so beautiful. Verse 29 and 56. So Lord Brahma's in ecstasy, realizing who he is, where he is, how he got there, and who the Lord is, and the beauty and description of Goloka, what he is seeing. And it's not that by his own endeavor he's seeing all this. The Lord revealed this to him because of his humility and his surrender. Lord Brahma is surrendering, he's humble, and he's sincerely performing tapa, austerity. So descent, the Lord's descending mercy is coming to him, and he's seeing this supramundane, transcendental reality where Krishna is living, and what he's like, and what his abode is like, and what's going on there. So, verse 29. Chintamani prakarasatma sukalpa vriksha laksha vriteshu surabhi apipalayantam lakshmi sahasra satasam brahma sevyamanam govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. So translation. And just be transported. You be transported from this mundane material world of suffering for a few minutes and hear what it's like in Goloka Vrindavan, Lord Krishna's abode. It's his personal abode, the way he likes it, surrounded by his friends and his own private, personal family life. And it goes like this. Surrounded by millions of wish-fulfilling trees, in abodes made of multitudes of wish-yielding gems. He who tends the ever-yielding cows, and who is perpetually served with great affection by hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis, goddesses, the primeval Lord Govinda do I worship. And there's a purport here by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Here, by the word Chintamani, which means transcendental gem, is to be understood. As the potency of Maya forms the mundane world from the 5 basic material elements, the divine potency has fashioned the transcendental world from the transcendental element of Chintamani. So matter and material elements are one thing that we find here, but Chintamani, that's made of different substance. What everything is composed of in the spiritual transcendental world is made of potency, divine potency. And that's what's fashioned the transcendental world of the Lord. There, the element of Chintamani that serves as the structural material of the residence of the Supreme Lord is infinitely more rare and charming than a general Chintamani known as a philosopher's stone. The general wish-fulfilling trees, the fruits of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, or religion, wealth, desire, and liberation, whereas the wish-fulfilling trees in Krishna's abode yield unending fruits of divine love in full variegatedness. The general kamadhenu, or cows of plenty, give milk as soon as they are milked, whereas the udders of the cows of Goloka perpetually there flows an ocean of that milk, and that is the fountain of divine love, showering transcendental ecstasy upon the pure devotee, jivas, dispelling all their hunger and thirst. The words laksha, laksha laksha, and sahasra satta, or hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis, indicate infinite multitudes. Sambrahma, describing the Lakshmi's service to Krishna, indicates with hearts saturated with love. Lakshmi means beautiful cowherd damsels or gopis. And Adi Purusha means he who is the origin of all that be. So Bhaktivinoda is describing some of these key words in this verse by Brahma. You know, the wish-fulfilling trees, they're not just fulfilling wishes. They're fulfilling divine love in all necessary elements and necessities to perpetuate those divine loving pastimes. And Gurudev would sometimes, in simple terms, would say, those wish-fulfilling trees, you can go and ask them, say it's an apple tree, but you can ask that tree for a mango. Anything that you desire, you can ask that tree. So those are the trees in Goloka. And full of the divine residence of Goloka. And they're all engaged in loving pastimes of the Lord in various ways. When Gopakumar, character of Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamritam, when he reaches Goloka after an extensive transcendental journey, going from earth to all the different planes of life and consciousness, through the higher planetary systems, celestial regions, heaven, crosses over the 8 layers of mundane coverings, pierces through them, meets Maya, goes to, crosses the Viraja river that separates the material and spiritual, and goes to all the different planetary systems in Vaikuntha, meeting everybody, having this epic journey that's described by Sanatana Goswami. Finally, after reaching Goloka, and he's doing this by the power of his mantra, the Gopal mantra that was given by the Lord, who acted as Gopakumar's guru, gave him the Gopal mantra, which took him to the very topmost level of the spiritual world of Goloka, of Krishna. And Gopakumar enters there. After experiencing so much, going everywhere and seeing what every other plane of life and consciousness entails of, and feeling some dissatisfaction everywhere else, seeing the beauty, characteristics, the different incarnations and avatars of the Lord, he's finally in Goloka, where his heart is situated, where his swarup, his internal nature as a cowherd boy, is revealed. He was a cowherd boy in Vrindavan anyway, in Govardhan, but in his swarup, his constitutional innate nature, he is a cowherd boy in Krishna Loka, in Goloka Vrindavan. And he reaches Goloka Vrindavan and he sees, I'm on the topmost level of the transcendental spiritual world. You can't go any higher than this. This is Krishna's abode. But it looks human-like. I'm seeing like everyone has 2 arms instead of 4 arms. He was just in Vishnu Loka, Narayan's abode, crossing through Ayodhya and Mathura. Now he's in Goloka, and he sees everything looks very mundane, looks like human life going on. But he realizes it's not. It's something higher. It's Krishna's abode, the way he likes it. And then he understands that human life on earth is a reflection of this plane, this divine, eternal plane of Krishna, that everyone has 2 arms. It's set in very simple, organic lifestyle, cowherd society, the way Krishna likes it. And the milkmaids are churning butter, and there's these wish-fulfilling trees and cows everywhere. So much beauty, but it's simple beauty. It's rural life. And he also notices something very peculiar, that everyone's miserable. Like, what's going on? Like, the gopis are churning butter and they're like miserable. And he realizes that's because they're feeling separation from Krishna. Krishna went to herd the cows. And when he goes to herd the cows with his cowherd boys and the cows, they're gone for the whole day. And they cannot tolerate a moment's separation from him. They cannot wait till he comes back from his cow herding. And when Mother Jashoda sees him off on his cow herding day, she's like in agony to let him go. His own mother just can't tolerate a day without him. And she's, wait a minute, don't go. And she's embracing him and kissing him. And then, okay, go. And then, no, don't go. And it's this long, drawn out goodbye just for the day of cow herding. So Gopakumar's seeing like these miserable residents of the transcendental, ecstatic, spiritual world of Krishna. Like, what's going on here? They're all in so much anxiety. They can't wait for Krishna to come back. So Gopakumar's walking around and he's seeing, like, he's dressed as a cowherd boy, and Krishna's gone for cow herding, and he's wandering around. Then it's dusk is starting to come, and that's when Krishna comes back with his cowherd friends and the cows. They come back from cow herding, and everyone's very eagerly waiting for this moment, and Gopakumar goes and sees in the distance this big cloud of dust cloud, and he's starting to hear sounds of like cowbells, ankle bells of the cowherd boys, and starts to see forms in the cloud. Krishna and the cowherd boys and the cows, they're coming closer to him. And then Krishna and Gopakumar, they lock eyes from a distance. Krishna knows, this is my long-lost servant who's gone through so much, and he has just received like emancipation. He's just achieved perfection and has just arrived in Goloka Vrindavan. And Krishna recognizes his servant, and they start running towards each other. Gopakumar is seeing, there's my Lord. That's the Lord of my heart, manifested before me, coming back from cowherd existence, cowherd service for the day. And they run to each other and they embrace. Loving search for the lost servant. And they're both in so much ecstasy, and it's described even, Krishna's even more ecstatic than Gopakumar. And they both faint. They fall on the ground, and they're unconscious for some time, and everyone's trying to revive Krishna and Gopakumar. They're seeing like, oh, this long lost servant has come back. And like, they're also a little bit like, why is he so ecstatic to see them? He wasn't so ecstatic to see me today. But first, Gopakumar is revived, and he's seeing Krishna lying next to him, unconscious, but Krishna's hand is on his neck, choking him. Gopakumar is being choked by Krishna. Krishna's holding on to him, and Gopakumar just like peels off Krishna's hand, like, stop choking me. And then Krishna revives and sees Gopakumar and speaks to him like, I recognize you. You are my long-lost servant. Srila Sridhar Maharaj describes this in the loving search for the lost servant. And he said, you cried for me, you suffered for me in your pursuit of finding me. You've gone through an exhaustive, epic journey, and like finally you got to me. And I helped you. I was your guru. I gave you the mantra to come back to me, and you chanted that mantra. You suffered so much. I was there with you all along, guiding you on your journey, and now you've come back. But how did you tolerate my separation? How could you stay away from me for so long? And Krishna, and they get up and dust themselves off, and Krishna brings Gopakumar for lunch at home. Maybe it's like dinner, because it was evening time, and they take prasadam together. So many preparations at his home are delivered from the gopis, and his mother serving, and then Gopakumar is given a new name and given a family who happens to be a relative of Srimati Radharani. He's placed in the family of Radharani, and a place to live, and like he's given like service role. So this is like an amazing description by Sanatana Goswami of what it's like to achieve spiritual emancipation in the Lord's service, in Lord Krishna's service, when one is being recruited, what it's like. So one can read the Brihad Bhagavatamritam to hear all about this and more details. It's described very concisely, but like very vivid and very visual. It's very beautiful and encouraging, and that's like the template to understand what it's like to be a devotee of Krishna and what is waiting for us. We're recruited out of samsara, birth, death, old age, disease, where we cross over the nescience, this ocean of mundanity, and we're given service in the plane of the Lord. And our swarup is realized. It's already within us. What kind of tendency of love we have for Krishna, it's already there. And it becomes unearthed and realized. Your spiritual form will be realized. It will be revealed to you. So one more verse. This one is 56. The famous Shreya Kanta Kanta Parama Parusha Kalpataravo Druma Bhumis Chintamani Ganamaito Yamamritam Kataganam Natyam Ghamanam Api Vamshi Priyashuki Chiranandam Jyoti Param Api Tad Asvajham Apicha Sayatra Kshirabdhi Shravati Surabhipyascha Sa Sumahan Nimeshardhakyova Vrajatina Hi Yatrapi Samaya Bhaje Svetadipam Tamaham Iha Golokamityam Virantaste Santa Kshiti Virala Chara Katipaye. Translation. That place where the divine goddesses of fortune are the beloved, and Krishna, the supreme male, is the only lover. All the trees are divine wish-fulfilling trees. The soil is made of transcendental gems, and the water is nectar, where every word is a song, every movement is dancing. The flute is the dearmost companion. Sunlight and moonlight are divine ecstasy, and all that be is divine and enjoyable. Where a great ocean of milk eternally flows from the udders of billions of Sarabi cows, and the divine time is eternally present, never suffering the estrangement of past and future for even a split second. To that supreme transcendental abode, of Svetadvip, Goloka, do I adore. Practically no one in this world knows that place, but for only a few pure devotees, and they know it as Goloka. Purport. That place that is reached by the jivas, the conditioned souls, through the highest loving service is completely transcendental. Despite that, it is never non-differentiated or without attributes. I'm just gonna, this is a long purport. So, Svetadvip means white or effulgent island in the whirl of the lotus. And persons who attain that ultimate joy of perfection and pure devotion during their sojourn in this mundane world see that plain within Goloka Vrindavan and Navadvip in this world. They speak of it as Goloka. The beauty of the transcendental variegatedness are found the beloved, the lover, the trees, the vines, the earth, the mountains, rivers and forests, water, speech, movement, the flute song, the moon and the sun, the enjoyed, the enjoyment, the cows, the flow of milk, and transcendental time of eternal present. These are some of the descriptions of the underlying conception of Goloka Vrindavan, described by Lord Brahma, seeing this with his own eyes. And the underlying statement is, as many facets of variegatedness are found in this world, all these and much more, myriads of excellences are found in Goloka. It's sometimes described as what we have here is a perverted reflection of that world, where everything's not perverted and is in its pure, transcendental, eternal state, and it all has its origin in the spiritual world, which is eternal and never suffering estrangement from divine reality. So, lastly, here in Bhaktivinoda's purport, Krishna wants to taste the glory of Radharani's love, his female aspect of divinity, his better half. Krishna has a better half, and that's Radha. She's on our altar here. Krishna wants to know what kind of love and experience she's feeling in her heart, and showing so much divine bhav. And that's where Mahaprabhu appears, and tasting these heart sentiments. Krishna becomes golden. And that's also eternally present in Swetadweep. There's also a Navadweep where Mahaprabhu is there with his associates. It's one section of Goloka. So, just some tidings from that divine plane for our, something to keep in mind. Some hearing about these things is purifying. It also gives us some remembrance of what divine reality is, what is waiting for us, what our gurus are delivering to us, what our divine prospect is. And so we can live and move in this world with that ideal as our ideal, synonymous. We make this ideal one with our own hearts. And remember why we are practicing, why we are doing what we're doing. What is the Lord's abode like, and what is the Lord like, and what are his associates like? And all those associates are coming as our gurus. So Brahma, Lord Brahma, is revealing these things to us. This is a beautiful book full of how many verses in total? 62. Yeah, 62 verses. And on the back cover, a beautiful verse. Always playing the flute, his eyes like blooming lotus petals, his head adorned with a peacock feather, his beautiful form the hue of a blue cloud, with the unique beauty that charms millions of cupids. The primeval Lord Govinda do I adore. Jai Shri Brahma Samhita ki Jai, Shri Brahmaji ki Jai, Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Om Vishnu Pad Shri Bhakti Rakhak Shri Dhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Bhagavan Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Rupa Anuga Guruvar ki Jai,
Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Bhakti Bimala Vidut Maharaj ki jai. Srila Bhakti Sevan Hrishikesh Maharaj ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. World devotees ki jai. Kol Kartal ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Jai Verde. Okay, Abhiram Prabhu.
Harikaraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
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 Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopala Govinda Ram Shimari Sudhana. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana. Chaitanya Nityananda Priya Chaitanya.
Shri Shila Bhakti Sundar Dina Devi Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Shila Bhakti Rakshak Devi Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shri Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Shri Shila Bhakti Sundar Bhakti Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shri Shila Sishtam Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Shri Shila Jagannath Das Bhakti Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Panu Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Ki Jai. Samata Vaishnava Mandava Ki Jai. Samata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhakti Vimala Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhakti Sivan Krishikesh Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Lalita Devi Ki Jai. All the Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. All the devotees Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanande.
Thank you for your patience, Maharaj. He's smiling.
We love a long program.
Once a week.
Once a week, yeah.
And these are becoming podcasts, these Thursday morning
Yeah.
podcast episodes.